Hey, what's up, my guys? On this episode, we're going to be covering how to identify assets, and their different classifications, business assets, and how to acquire certain assets. After this. Alright, so I'm sorry I haven't streamed for a couple days right now. Reason being, I was looking over my channel and I wasn't satisfied with certain things. So I decided to do maybe a little bit of get some of reformatting done and just make it a little bit better than what it has been. And so now on to the topic. Uh, so what an asset is? An asset is something that you acquire that produces you um, an income. You know, that's what a normal asset is. And to understand what a normal asset is, I can explain this to you in a couple easy ways. So you have your physical, and then you have your metaphysical assets. So your physical assets are, as such as stocks, dividend stocks, bonds, rental properties. Um, Now, with the rental properties, there's two parts to that. You have your physical asset, and then you have your metaphysical asset that goes to it. And I'll get to that in a second here. So, these are all physical assets that you can have. You can have a business, either online or a brick and mortar. Um, but other than that, those are pretty much the basis for most physical assets. And the metaphysical is more, it's a contractual basis. Um, Asset is you're exchanging your time with one of your assets in exchange for monetary compensation due to wear and tear, and depreciation, and of course you want to make a little bit extra on top. That could be from anywhere from leasing rental properties to owning a few cars and leasing them out to people or renting them out to people and having a lease contract on the rental agreements. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can try and do and get started up on and go. Um, Now, for business assets, uh, you have your tangible and then your intangible, your your physical and then your non-physical, and then your current and then non-current assets. Current assets are described as something that you know that you can turn into a liquid value immediately for what it's worth. Um, so anything physical property that you can sell into and turn into or into liquidate it and to earn a monetary value from it. Um, then you have your non-physical or your non-currents, which are like stuff that's long-term. Okay, so current assets also include any kind of investments that you have, um, or short-term. Okay, short-term investments, stuff that doesn't have a long lifespan. And then with the non-current assets is stuff with longer lifespan, like land, machinery, businesses and factories, stuff that have a longer lifespan than something say as like a cash register or a software that you use to help run your business. There's always going to be something. There might be something newer or better that might come out, and that those kinds of things are short-term investments and become a liquidable asset. So there's those, and then you have your physical ones, which is the same thing as what you would with a regular asset, as in like dividends, stuff like that. But it's for business purposes is exactly as like the non-currents, it's your long-term investments, your physicals. Or even you can turn even some of the physicals into short-term investments. It varies here and there depending on its usage and its lifespan. And non-physical, same thing, is intangible stuff you can't see. Uh, Software that you use, that's an asset. Contracts with other companies, assets, other basic stuff like that. Copyright, on your thoughts, it's an asset. Um, so those are some of your basic assets. I don't want to delve too much into this. If you actually want to delve farther into it, there are resources out there that will provide you more detailed information on one or the other. Like if you just want to learn what regular assets are, and to get yourself to start building the passive income, then Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad is one of the best books that can help you start getting on that one. And actually, if I prefer, I'd recommend you just go ahead and purchase the whole series. It's a great series. It will really help you in the way you think and the way you view certain things. It's changed my life. Um, Other than that, we will next. We're going to go on to how to acquire assets, not business assets. Business assets, you can go out and talk to manufacturers and stuff like that and acquire them that way. But we're talking about regular assets as a regular person, something to purchase to provide yourself with a passive income. Um, there's real estate, so you can go to your county's tax lien office and go find out who hasn't paid on their property taxes. File the paperwork, start to get a lien on it yourself, and pay for their taxes, and so you can get income from that. You can also talk to them about foreclosed properties that are around, or you can talk to a foreclosure lawyer. They can help you. You'll have to probably retain them, but they can help you find properties in order to start looking into the purchase. Other than that, I suggest doing some research, gathering as much information, studying, learning about stocks, dividends, and bonds, and start investing to provide yourself with a more secure financial future. Like, I didn't start until I was later in life, and I regret it. I wish I would have started earlier. I wouldn't have been in such a bad state or situation as I was going through life to where I am now. But life's a journey. We all are human. We all make mistakes. The best of us learn from those mistakes and then carry on and build and correct whatever issues that you have found what your mistakes are. So that's a nice little thought for you. Also, if you're saying that you can't invest into assets, can't invest in yourself, um, here's a quick thought on things. It's called credit leverage. Now, this is how rich people think. This is how successful people think. Is why am I going to waste my money, my hard-earned money, to invest in something that I know is going to make me a return, or is almost guaranteed to make me a return, when I can go off and I can take a line of credit or open a line of credit and start to use that as my investment beginning. I mean, that's other people's money that you're using to invest into an asset that's going to produce you income on a regular basis without you actually having to be there physically working. So it's considered a passive income. It's a great way to do it, because then when you start making that income, you can then take that income and start paying off that credit line, pay it down, get it gone. And then once the credit line is gone, you never really spent a dime, and you're now making money. I mean, that makes complete sense to me. I don't know about anybody else. And for homeowners out there, say you want to consolidate debt, but you don't want to refinance. You don't want to incur a new monthly payment or anything like that. You don't want to go out and get a loan or a new line of credit. You can look into companies. They're new and upcoming, and they're out there. They're companies that invest in your home's equity, and as long as you apply, they'll look into. You provide them with certain documents. They provide you with a appraisal. They come out and appraise your house to get the value, and then they give an offer on the investment. Plus, they'll take a percentage. Either once you decide to sell the house, or once you decide to just pay them back, and whatever the current value is, you pay them whatever the amount was that they invested in you, plus a certain percentage of the new property value. I mean, you're losing a little, but you can take that money that you just got, and I mean, if you want to be smart about it, you can reinvest it into your house, remodel, then sell for more than what you just appraised it for. Not only that, if you're married and you own the house, you can defer taxes or not have to pay taxes on up to $500,000 profit from selling your primary residence. There's a bunch of different things that you can do, and once you do that, then you can go look at maybe somewhere else, finding a cheaper place to live, and then possibly starting the business. Or you can take that money and start a business to produce an income for yourself, and then continue on. I mean, it's totally up to you. The world is yours. I'm just trying to get you informed and out there to start wanting to grab it, take action, and want to do and be like the 1%. Live like the 1%. But in order to live like them, we got to understand them, how they think, how they act, and then incorporate it into ourselves. This is how, some of them made it, but most of them, it's the fact is it was ingrained into them. The day that they were born, it was there. From their parents that have this same mindset. Being, raised in this environment, growing up, thinking business smart, making assets. They're 15 years old, having, portfolios, or they have rental properties, or maybe they have online businesses that they're doing that's making them a passive income. All they gotta do is just check up on it every now and again to see how the ads are doing, and then replace those ads if necessary. And if they don't, need to do the jobs, they can also, outsource, hire people to do it for them. So, they're smart. They take their money that they made, or that was given to them. They use that money to then purchase stuff to make money, so they don't actually have to work. They have more time to spend on finding other things to purchase to increase their income. I mean, I wish I would have thought this way a long time ago. And now that I do, it's completely changed my life. I'm making leaps and bounds, and I'm getting ready to start paying off my house here shortly, probably within the next year. I've only been here for 3 years, and I'm on a 30-year loan, but that's what I'm looking at. Only because I took the time to learn, to take action, and to invest in myself, and believe in myself. That's the main thing. So not only am I going to be doing these informational videos on here, I am going to be doing reviews on products and tools that can help you start an online business or help you run your online business. Also, educational services and companies that provide you with education on using these tools, in-depth education. I mean, pretty much step-by-step details on what to do in order to how to get it to this tool to work for you. And give you, and then even some of these companies out there, they give you a blueprint to follow. So, and it's a known blueprint that works for businesses as long as you're willing to put the effort in and make it yours. Right? I know some of you are going to understand that. But the main thing is when you start a business or you do any kind of endeavor, mind your business. Right? I'm not saying stick to yourself and be by yourself and go about this all alone and by yourself. I'm talking about think about what's the best way to go about your business. What's the best things that are going to, make your business grow and continue. So, with all this being said, I think I'm running on a little long here, but I'd love to keep on going. I love talking. I love informing people. This is what I do, and it's great. But other than that, I think we're gonna move on. We're gonna finish this up here, and so thank you for joining in. I want you to go out and I want you to do some learning, research, stuff on what interests you, and find a way to create a business around that. Brand yourself, put yourself out there with this information or services or whatever you're going to provide, and just take action and do it. So if you would, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell right down there so you can get notified when I post or when I go live. Alright, thank you all for coming. I really enjoy it. And I'm so glad that I made this step. Peace out, and I hope to help you grow your business mind.